Alright, it is 9:42. I had one trade with GEGI. It's nice to finally be in a setup that worked out because I've been having the ugliest streak of just small L's and scratches. And this one worked out. This was a dip and rip setup, and the idea was is that it's enough trading over a longer period of time. We had a nice green day here, and we opened. We did have a panic, but it was able to find support once it just briefly broke under the 90 sub penny level. It went to the 80s, and then it kind of came back, as you can see here. It dropped, but then it made like a tiny higher low off of here, and then it broke past VWAP, which is always ideal. And then the goal, of course, was for it to uptrend and then also maybe even try to break above a penny, transition from a sub penny stock to a penny, which is what it did. I did buy 20,000 shares at 9:31 a.m. and that was at 92. So again, right here, 20,000 shares. I probably needed to have had maybe 30,000 shares because at first I calculated my risk based off of the idea that maybe we're going to open near the previous close at 97 and then it's going to immediately make a move and try to get above a penny. And that wasn't the case. I had a dip and rip instead, so maybe I should have had more shares because I was going to be in at a lower price, and perhaps that would have been 30,000 shares a trade accordingly to a $40 risk level. But at least I still got in the setup and everything. It was a little nerve-wracking because I did get in at 9:31 at 92, and it did have an uptrend right here, and then it kind of came back. But I like how I did make that higher low off of this level right here, and I did sell 10,000 shares at 96, and that was at 9:38, which was right here. I just wanted to sell some while it was uptrending, especially at this point when it got above the trend line that I made right here, the aggressive trend line. I sold some right here and then I held the rest, and I did get out ultimately at 9:40, which was right here at 97, and I did get out here because we did see 1 cent at the ask and it just had a whole bunch of sellers, and I didn't really want to take the chance that we might not be able to break above 1 cent and then it just sells off pretty harshly. I was kind of worried about that, but it did end up breaking above 1 cent and it got as high as this 103 level, and sure, it can try to maybe downtrend here and make a higher low off of this panic bottom, and then maybe it can try to regain itself above 1 cent and then continue the run for a longer period of time. That could totally be the case, and I will be watching it for that. That's pretty much it for right now. I don't um, regret how I traded it or anything other than the fact that maybe I needed more shares. And perhaps the last piece I could have actually have held until it broke past the trend line, but I don't mind it again because it just felt like, there wasn't the best chance that it was going to break above 1 cent because there were a lot of sellers. But it did manage to do it. It just didn't stay above it, but it can try to get back at that level later. I will make an update later. Okay, it is 10:10 a.m. and it looks like we have just broken this trend line, but I want to see if it just briefly breaks past the trend line and is trying to regain itself immediately, or if it's going to break past this trend line and then actually downtrend. But I had two more trades with GEGI and it didn't get back above 1 penny. It might later today, but I've seen this happen before where it has like a nice morning spike. It has a sell off that breaks the previous, morning low, and then it eventually, a lot of the times they make a move towards VWAP and it ends up being profitable. I did take two trades with that in mind, so I've had three trades in total, and I think I had the right amount of shares. Maybe I don't, but I did buy 30,000 shares at 9.59, and that was at 88, which was right here. I got in this setup right here because it looked like we were going to break above this 88 ceiling range, and it was going to ideally break out of the range and start making that move towards VWAP, but it did not do it here. And I also liked how we had like this bottom right here at 85 and then like a baby higher low at 86, very similar to here at 89 and then at 90. But we eventually started to have some really bad price action happen and it broke below this level, and it looked like for a moment it was going to break the day low of 85, and I did get out of my position at 85 was my average, I think. No, I did sell some at 86, and that was at 10 o'clock. I did get out right here. But when it managed to hold itself and it looked a lot stronger, I was surprised it didn't break the level. And then we had support show up at the bid. I thought this thing could actually try to do it, like just not when I got in. So I did buy again 30,000 shares, and I got filled right here at 88, the same price again, and that was at 10:01. So right here I got back in at 88 with this in mind, and this time it actually did it. It did make a move. It got above VWAP and everything, and it's been following this trend line, although, it's broken past it. Now it's followed it for a while. I did sell this one in pieces, and I did sell 10,000 shares at 91. That was at 10:05. So right here, I sold some at 91 while it was still uptrending in case that, it might uptrend just a little bit and then it just starts to fail again. At least I sold some for a profit, and it's going to help me be break even or not lose as much if it ultimately comes back and fails. I did sell more at 93, and that was at 10:06. So 93 was right here at 10:06. I sold some, which is right at the VWAP line, which is fine. And then I did sell the last piece at 10:07 at 93. Maybe the last piece I could have held on to this one a bit longer and stuck to the trend line, and perhaps that would have allowed me to have sold at a slightly higher price, because it can totally, again, break the trend line a little bit, maybe consolidate now above VWAP officially, and then make an even higher move. But I think I did this one all right. I can see the things that I did wrong, and I can try to improve upon that. There hasn't been anything else I've been interested in, but INND has been uptrending. I just haven't been watching it because I've been trading GEGI instead, but I do like how it's following this trend line. I'll make an update later, but that's what I have right now. 3 trades with GEGI. Alright, it is 8:39 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. I hope I don't sound too weird because I just had my wisdom teeth removed a few hours ago. And today I'm going to be up 14 bucks trading GEGI, and this was the only stock I was really interested in today. I'm overall happy with the way I traded it, even with that second trade, because that's something I can just get better at with more confidence, to kind of judge the price action as to whether or not it's going to actually break the day low when it looks like it was. I don't mind it too badly because I was risking the day low. If it were to have broken it, I think it would have been much more dramatic, or at least a higher chance for it to panic big than if I were in a setup like here. And then, oh, if it breaks the range low, it's okay if it actually breaks it because it'll probably catch itself at the day low or something like that. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm going to be up $14 trading GEGI. I'm glad to have had a green day. Wiped out the previous 2 days of just continuous pain and L's. That's it for today.